for somebody that's not in the military to try to tell somebody that's in the military what kind of mindset they should have and how they should operate.
Backwards.
You understand what I'm saying? You haven't went through the training. You haven't went through the qualification to get the certain certification that you got to have to operate in the auxiliary that you're operating in. But you want to tell me how to operate. It don't make sense. Make that make sense. And where I'm going with this, and not saying that you can't learn from anybody, but a lot of times we're taking information from people that have no clue about what we do in our field, and then we allow that information to taint, what we're trying to do, and then it causes, unnecessary stress. It causes unnecessary fears, doubts, and you have no clue about what I do and what it takes to do what I do because you haven't been trained or you haven't been certified or you didn't go through the schooling or the teaching or none of that stuff. But we're allowing these type of people to come into our life and discredit what we're trying to do. No, don't do that in this shit. The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop motivated apparel and grab yourself some motivated apparel today. Hey, yo, what up, world? What it do? Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blueprint to Success podcast, where we teach you how to live life by design and not by default. Y'all know what it is, man. This your boy, Mike Mariner, the AKA Shift Motivator. Join tonight, y'all. Give it up for my co-host, man, my brother from another mother.
Yo.
Alexander Hall. He's smiling. You got a lot to smile about.
A lot.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Alexander Hall. How y'all doing, man?
Hey, what's that? They're podcasters. And then,
for real.
And then, yeah, man. Then y'all know who this guy is, man. My brother from the same mother.
Biggest bag.
Big bag, big dub. Man, y'all give it up for boy Wonder.
How are you doing? Praise the Lord. It's really good tonight. We're not gonna add. They're not paying us. What's up, y'all?
That's good.
What's that? Hey, hold up. Before we even get started, if you're just tuning in to the B2S podcast, we pre-record all of our shows.
Every last one.
Because of our schedules, so we pre-record. So by the time this record drops, it'll probably be the middle end of January, possibly the beginning of February, because we had some wrapped in the chamber that we had quite a bit that we didn't realize we had, so we had to go and get those released. So this is the actual first podcast of the new year.
That's 24.
So happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. 2K24.
Man, it done came in so quick.
Bruh.
It came in quick, man.
24, throw them bows to 23.
Move.
Get out the
way.
Yeah, came in strong. 24 came in strong.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, man. You see how fast it's moving? We just said, Happy New Year.
Right. So actually, yeah, we're almost in the middle of the month now. So it'll probably be towards the end, the beginning of February before this episode drop. Yeah.
Big facts, bro. But
like,
I'm just happy to be able to see 2024.
I'm telling you,
bro. It's a huge blessing on that. Just
man,
in general, man.
I'm telling you, man, the amount of RIPs. just from the last quarter alone,
Yeah,
nah, it's crazy. It's definitely a blessing to be on this side of heaven.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make sure I have heaven on earth while I'm on this side of heaven.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Life be lifing, but heaven going to be heavening. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what it do. Let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Y'all do anything? I know we didn't do a New Year's Eve service this year, so because of it falling on the Sunday,
Right.
which was kind of cool, it was kind of dope. So we got to kind of chill a little bit more than usual. So
Bro.
which I enjoyed that. So
Yeah.
Same.
since we're always on the go, but anything y'all did anything, man?
Man, I looked at my eyelids during the day. Took me a little nap, you know. Had our usual Sunday meeting and then just chilled the rest of the evening, bro.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just took in, man, there's so many fireworks just pop, 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 pop,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Oh my
guns
God.
flying off all over the place.
Fireworks, guns, everything. And it was going for a good half hour to an hour.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it ain't go longer,
yeah,
especially being by, you know, Legoland. So, but
right. Yeah, you're right. You forgot about
so,
that. Yeah.
but for the most part, man, I just enjoyed it, bro. I just looked at it as another day to embrace and just reshape and refocus
Yeah,
and making sure that, you know, I live, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of doing what we call to do and our purpose and everything, but to enjoy life too,
yeah,
because it ain't always about work.
yeah. You do anything, bro?
Yo, I had worked New Year's Eve, so I went to, you know, I'm bouncing back from my leg injury. So, when I was at work, a girl texted me. She said, "It's gonna be some food at the house when you." She got me some Spanish food, bro. Oh my God,
Some what?
some Spanish food. It was some rice, some peas. It was some chicken. It was some
Ooh.
some sauce on it. I went to the house.
It's a wrap.
I took a shower.
It went
It's a
to work.
wrap. We went to town.
I cleaned up a little bit, turned the TV on. I did not watch nothing about no ball dropping. I went to what it is where you find the movies
On Netflix
demand?
or
on demand.
on demand.
At that table right there, and she bought me this green green sauce, bro. I was just eating, bro. I was eating. That's all I did. So I was eating. I ate. I took a shower, ate, just relaxed.
Yeah,
And then around 12 o'clock, I was on the phone with her. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah. My son called me. Daddy, what you doing? I'm in the bed, son.
Daddy.
So when did you take him back? I forgot to ask you.
He went back. He went back that Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, we got up in the morning. We left like around. We left around 5,
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. No, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. We left at 3.
Oh, okay.
Dropped them off.
Came right
Came
back.
on back.
Slid right on back.
Yeah.
And still had time throughout the day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
peaceful.
That's how you do it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Especially 3 in the morning, ain't really a whole lot of traffic going on.
It was peaceful, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just chill, bro. What you did? What you had shape?
I did nothing. That's what
Yes.
I did.
It's nothing did nothing.
It's
a good feeling, too, boy.
It almost felt kind of weird because it's like I got time.
Right?
Because normally we do a New Year's Eve service, so or not necessarily service. The way he do it is which is real cool. So either it'll be a service or it'll be a family night. And family night is where we just play games, hang out, and eat, be food, and then at a certain time before the new year comes in, he'll just kind of gather everybody, say a few words. He may have a few people pray, and then they'll pray, close it out. And then either we go back to playing games or go home. And then there's sometimes where they'll feel that, no, we're going to do a service this time. So it just depends upon what they feel at the moment. So,
Yeah.
but because, like I said, because it was actually on a Sunday, they was like, nah, we just going to. And I was like, yes.
That's good, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so I did nothing. I'm like you. I ate and watched TV.
But that food was so good. I love me some Spanish food.
Yeah, I
Bro,
don't even
Spanish
remember what
food
I
be
ate.
busting, dog.
I don't even remember what I ate. Really don't. What did we? I don't even remember what I ate.
Man, I had some broccoli, rice, and cheese, casserole,
You cooked it?
and some chicken. Oh, Auntie Glenda hooked me up.
See, she gonna make me call her and bless her eye.
Auntie hooked me up. Like,
I love her broccoli cheese and
God
casserole.
bless you, sister.
She make the best.
What?
Bro, like,
I still got a little corner left at the crib, so I'm gonna bust that down
and
tonight.
then let's see how you gonna keep rubbing it in, man.
I just remember.
Yeah, whatever.
I shall you want it,
Whatever. I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna bless her eye real good.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It was good. So
She don't be on the media like that, so she ain't gonna hear this episode. So I'm just gonna have to call her and bless her eye.
hey, Auntie.
Yeah. So how you gonna give out plates and miss your boy? You know what I'm saying?
Houston, we got a problem.
We got a big problem. Oh man. So before we get into the podcast, really. So let me ask y'all this real quick. So what are y'all expecting for 2024?
Shoot, bro. I'm expecting a shift, man, in business, finances, expectation of flourishing, and the things that we're doing corporately together, even individually, is aiding us as a whole. So just seeing anything and everything that I'm a part of attached to flourishing and just growing and blessing others. I expect, bro, the best version of myself each and every day, being better than the last. I'm getting a lot more discipline, even with the little window time that I got. And I was sharing with Elliot, I was saying, man, I think God has me in this space. And of course, you got to handle responsibilities and things of that nature, but I feel like this space is disciplining me and prepping me to be able to get a lot done in a short period of time and really just hammer down. And one of the things, even just coming in the new year, is like time. I need you to handle that even more. And it wasn't more of a urgency, but it was more of a sternness. You know what I'm saying? Just like making sure everything's structured. Like this weekend, I'm locking in the lab. Like whatever I got going on, I got to get out and record. I'm locking in the lab. I connected with the videographer down in Fort Myers, and so me and him, we fit to work as well. So, and just really, bro, being a help and a aid. Like I just expect to be what I expect in return. And just to share that along with the people that I love, my friends, my family, and just continue to go up from now. And then share what my resources and just be resourceful.
Yeah.
Just take it up another notch.
Yeah.
That's my expectation. That's my heart. And of course, my future boo, wherever you at, baby. Big Daddy holding it down. Can't wait to meet you. Expecting. Baby.
For real.
I don't want to be your dream.
Stupid.
But what about you, Sid? Like what you expecting, bro?
My answer gonna be a little I be coming up on the back porch, so like, I really do. The basement, the back on the house, I be coming from the whole property. I'm on that.
Oh Lord.
So what for me, what I'm expecting this year is one thing is to disintegrate every expectation that is pre-programmed in my mind about where I'm going and what I need to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like dropping all expectations. That might seem crazy. I'm expecting something. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm taking that out of my mind what I think how it should look.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that stuff would drive you crazy because if stuff don't fall in line, how you be around here bananas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one thing. Even a girl tell me all the time, like, you know, we would talk about certain things, and she'd be like, she'll tell me, drop that expectation. Like, don't be trying to picture how this is gonna be so much till, of course, you have a vision for it.
Right.
That stuff will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
create
mean?
unnecessary pressure that you ain't got to put on yourself.
There you go. Then, because
Yeah.
unnecessary pressure will cause you not to move. That's another form of paralyzation that you don't need to be in. So that's one thing that what I'm doing. Another thing is I want to.
He had to go LL on that one.
You know what I'm saying? Well, this smile covered the whole face, boy. I'm like, well, what he finna say?
I told you he be with the long pause.
You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
I'm just not this year for real. I'm just expecting to build with my girl differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta build with my fiance different. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's a different level now.
Yeah.
So different.
Congratulations.
He said it. Yep, you heard it. He said it. Yep.
Oh my
Fiance, he just got engaged. What?
What?
Okay.
He just, this is
Yeah.
Tyrone Couples. He just got engaged.
So
Congratulations, big
I
dog.
appreciate
For
it.
real.
Yeah, we putting in work. She got a wonderful heart. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Big facts,
just
bro.
building with
Yeah.
her
Clack.
and just learning my position. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm expecting to learn more of my position. And I'm expecting everything that Satan tried to scare me off from, every false little fear that he tried to keep me away from what God got for me, I'm expecting immediate face on this year. Like, oh, you try to keep me from that? No, that's coming to my face this year. This is coming to pass this year. This is, oh, you try to keep me from this to start this, so this can come to pass in 3 years? No,
Right.
we're doing this year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm talking about new growth in finances and me just trying new things, me leaving old things where it's at and just actually just trying something different. Just stepping into what I feel and what I believe that God got for me. Even if it's contrary to what everybody else says I should be doing.
Right.
That's what I'm expecting this year. But the first thing, what I started off with, just dropping all expectations. That might seem retarded, but just dropping everything of how I think it should be, or what do you think it should be? Like, how is this gonna look?
Right.
You know what I mean? I had an older guy ask me the other day, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? And when an older man asks you that, you be like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? But, and I know what he was trying to say, but
Right.
I'm glad he asked me that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just feel confident. I feel confident that I know what God has allotted for me. And right now, I don't fully know it, but I know He fully knows it. So as long as I'm keeping myself in His palm, then He's going to reveal to me what I need to do to unfold so He can have me write the vision out.
Right.
I feel confident that God got it for me.
Right.
And the more I feel, like the more I lay myself in His palm, then the more He gives me my natural confidence.
Right.
Me leaning on His supernatural goodness.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right, bro.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that 1,000%, dog. Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
What about you, big bro? Like,
Yeah,
what
what
do
you
you
I'm
expect?
kind of like where he at, really. I'm on that 1,000% because you know if somebody's in the space that I'm in, and also being in the finance industry, that's what I learned. You know, but that ain't what my life has taught me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can
opposite.
you can have a 5-year plan, you can have a 10-year plan, and then 5 years, 10 years from now, you're looking at, man, ain't none of this stuff happening. You know, so and it ain't the saying, and it goes back to like what you were saying, and that's what I'm learning at this phase of my life is because I have very high expectations in everything that I do, and it drives me bananas when it don't go the way I think it should go.
Yeah.
And so it ain't, and it's like you're saying, it ain't like you're leveling your, like lowering your expectation, but you're doing it in a sense to where you're not looking for it to come out a certain way if that ain't the way God intended it for it to come out.
Right.
That's kind of like where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm even watching myself in this like step back a little bit with some of my roles from a ministerial standpoint, and I'm taking a microscope in those areas, being leaders over certain auxiliaries, and I'm looking at how I'm handling myself now because I'm taking a step back, and I'm like, and I had to pull back on some circles I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking at how I've trained other people, and now they're taking that role and watching. And when I'm playing double dutch, like, man, let me like, no, I'm good. Let me rest in this season, and just trust God got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly kind of where I'm at. And then also, my expectations for this year, all I said basically is for me, this was going to be the year of building relationships. Like I mean, I know I've done that, but it's just like being intentional about relationships and partnerships. That's going to be beneficial both ways, and also, going to that next level in that area. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So, that's kind of like my whole expectation. That's really all I got, dog. Because like I said, man, life is just, for those that have been able to write down your 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan, hey, that's great. Kudos to y'all. At the end of the day, everybody's wired differently, and that's just where I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I remember Uncle Junior. I was years ago, man. I first tapped into some of this stuff, entrepreneurship, and we was on that. Talking about that, and I wanted to write a business plan so bad, but I couldn't do it. I mean, I've had templates from people that was that have done it, would send them to me, or I would find one and I would or I invested in a program, and they had templates and still had a hard time doing it. Just never got to that point to where I did it to that extent, and just being able to operate the way I've been operating, So, but I know that time will come, but it just like literally, like that's why I think relationships and partnerships are so valuable, to be able to get in and allow people to come in and assist that have expertise, experiences in those areas. So that's my thing, man. It's like where I would kind of be that centerfold piece for everything. I'm looking to get that in return this year.
Right.
Facts.
That connects everything together. That's putting everything. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the reciprocation of that in this year. Because when I look back, I kind of ran myself ragged in certain areas of the last couple of years, and it's like, it's time to take a break from that. So it's like making sure that I'm being intentional about how I, like you said, Dove, like how I spend my time and with whom I spend my time with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
that's
that calculated up.
Yeah, we've been talking about that on pretty much a lot of the podcasts. So that's just where we all are. But seriously, 2024, it's like I did something last weekend, and I realized, I said, you know what? Just trying to be nice. I said, nope, Mike, that ain't finna happen again. That is not finna happen, because that's my nature, trying to help, and then I'm getting frustrated in the process. Like, nah, that ain't finna happen no more.
And it also gives yourself grace to be able to be in the space that you desire for so long, but didn't know how to go about being in that space for so long. Right. Because your wheels are always turning, you always trying to figure out, how can I do this? What's the next move? Like your mind is always constantly running. So even when you're present, you're not present. You know what I'm saying? So I think on top of the break, and I think it's more than just a break. I think it's just really a rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like a break is like, okay, that's cool, but it's like you don't really calm down from that. It's like an addiction in a sense. It's a high that you get from just doing that, and sometimes you don't even realize that. And even when you say, well, Uncle Junior, it's amazing how you don't realize until years further what a person, the impact that they have with your starting on your journey.
Yeah.
And so when I'm at work, I go into like the ops. The ladies know every time I come in, they be like, I say, the king is here. They be laughing. They be like, hey, king, how you doing? I am good. How are you? You know? And then I remember it was one day, so as I dropped the patient off and I was walking out, I was like, wait a minute. Uncle Junior used to do that because he always used to say, the king got to eat. The
Right.
king this,
Yeah.
the king
yeah,
that.
Yeah. That's how
So
you. Yeah.
I was like, dog. I
Yeah.
said, now that's powerful.
Yeah.
And every time I come in,
Yeah.
the king is here.
Yeah.
And it's a great icebreaker. It's a great building relationally,
Bro.
just for people just to like just get that laughter or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
patients we see every day, bro, is just
Yeah.
they need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just like you say, just want to give what I know I will want in return.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it's all about the mind. Man, like you never met our uncle. He got arrested, so we lost him a couple years ago. Amazing dude, man. When I say amazing, bro,
Confident, like
yeah, his
extraordinary.
mindset was. And it was funny because when Isha first met him, that's exactly what she thought. If you don't know him, you would have thought he was arrogant because he walked in a confidence just that strongly. When my aunt passed, and it was funny. Not funny, but it was funny to the point to where when mom passed, I experienced what I asked for. Because there was a strength that I had got that I knew was God. You know what I'm saying? So being the connector to that whole situation, because Dad was, he wasn't in a good spot. He's half an hour away, but I'm like, I'm not finna call him and tell him this right now.
Right.
And when after the thing went down, I called him, and Dad was in the bed, feeling ill and checking on her, and she not hearing the sound. I'm like, this ain't good, because he told me she's in the bathroom, and I'm calling her and I'm not hearing anything, so having to deal with that whole situation, and I'm like, I had my breaking moments. But when I look back, and even people that walked up to both of us, talked about the strength that they saw, and but my mind went back to when I watched my uncle, when my aunt passed, because as believers, we say this stuff, but then we fall apart when it happens,
Right.
and rightfully so. But to actually see it and the way that it was manifested, it blew my mind. Because not saying that he did not have his moments, but we saw a strong man that didn't rely on his own strength, but he relied on the strength of God.
Yeah.
And so when the scripture says that we as believers don't mourn as those that mourn that have no hope, we don't, you know what I'm saying? And so watching him, he was still upbeat. He was still himself. Like when he walked in the room, he owned it. And when Auntie, took her wings, he still walked in the room. He owned it. I remember when we was at the wake that night, he was still himself. It was like, and I'm watching him. I'm like, is this real? And I'm being straight up. I'm keeping, as the kids say, I'm keeping it 1,000.
Right.
I'm like, is this a facade or is he like real? Because like he was himself. Joyful, loud, self, for the most part.
Right.
Which of course, sure, he, like I said, once again, he had a moment. But I'm watching this stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if I ever have to go through something like this, Lord, give me that kind of strength. And then when Mom passed out, and my mind went back to that. So I'm realizing this stuff, and so this is actually leading to the conversation for tonight. So But the mindset that he walked in is that of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so what we want to lead into tonight is everybody coming into this year, go into the place of ownership. You know what I'm saying? The mindset that you need to walk into the space that you want to walk in, to walk in the doors that you want to walk in, to receive the opportunities that you want to walk in. Go into when I look at my uncle, man, our uncle he owned everything. I mean, he owned his character, he owned his wit, he didn't care if you didn't like it. If you thought he was arrogant, he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But once Isha got to know him, she realized, he ain't arrogant. He just confident, and that's what's him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fine line. It is. But at the end of the day, he owned his space. So that goes to show, like, whatever a person is in, you gotta own that. You gotta own your mindset. The mindset that it takes to operate in the space that you're operating in. It takes a certain individual. Just like the military, right? You get into the military, certain training you got to go through.
It is.
Certain things you got to learn. Certain things you got to do.
Certain requirements. Yep.
Certain requirements. But once you're in that space and you're out of the military, you're not considered a militant no more. Nope. Anything outside of that military space, you call it a civilian. Yeah. Two different mindsets.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Light on, light off.
You know what I'm saying? So
just that quick.
Two different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I'm thinking about like civilian mindset, I'm thinking about like somebody that's not in that space. If you're not like, you know, when I looked up the word civilian, and I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, all persons who are neither members of state armed forces nor members of an organized all persons who are neither members of state armed forces nor of an organized armed group, which we always equate that to military. But how does that look for somebody that's not in the military to try to tell somebody that's in the military what kind of mindset they should have and how they should operate?
Backwards.
You understand what I'm saying? You haven't went through the training. You haven't went through the qualification to get the certain certifications that you got to have to operate in the auxiliary that you're operating in. But you want to tell me how to operate. It don't make sense. Make that make sense. And where I'm going with this, and not saying that you can't learn from anybody, but a lot of times we're taking information from people that have no clue about what we do in our field. And then we allow that information to taint you know, what we're trying to do, and then it causes unnecessary stress. It causes unnecessary fears, doubts, and you have no clue about what I do and what it takes to do what I do because you haven't been trained or you haven't been certified or you didn't go through the schooling or the teaching or none of that stuff. But we're allowing these type of people to come into our life and discredit what we're trying to do. No, don't do that this year. That's where we're going tonight. Don't do that this year. That's what I was saying, man. No, you don't know what I went through. You don't know the training I've been through. You know, one thing I learned when I started doing my speaker fees and stuff like that, and I had to even get comfortable to where I am right now. And however, my credentials warrant my fees. Now, how can you say that? Well, in your space, if you're being truly honest about what you're doing, you should be credentialed. Your activities, your actions should credential and warrant what you're charging for your services. You can't charge somebody something, or you can, but you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't be charging somebody a whole lot of money for something you're not qualified to obtain. And who sets that price? Your space sets that price.
Yep.
When I first got into the speaking industry, they got a tier. How many? They gonna ask you how many speaking engagements have you, and it's not to belittle you or getting your stuff. There's a gauge. If you've had, how many speaking engagements have you had? Where have you spoken? What have you been paid? Have you been paid? Have they all been free gigs?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you've been so many places, so many gigs, they got a thing. They got a tier. Like you can actually charge this much. Do you have a website? Can your stuff be verified? How many people have you? There's a tier. So for somebody to say, "Oh man, you charge too much," who are you to tell me what I charge? And I've done that. You know, I've allowed people to discredit my work because you don't understand the lane that I'm in. 2024, let's not do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Walk into a place of confidence where you own your own space. But make sure that you have done the work and you've gotten the credentials to warrant what you're asking for.
The back it up portion.
You know what I'm saying? Even in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Are you giving out what you expecting back in return?
Oh man.
I know I struck a nerve. Let's go. Hit 2024.
But you know what? That's why bro, that's why parents get mad at children. Like how you gonna tell me what you don't like? You don't wake up at 5:30. Well, you might do if they're in high school, but you're not going to do what you're going to do throughout your day is going to benefit you.
At the end of the day.
What I'm going to do throughout my day is going to benefit you.
It's going to benefit us.
Us, but, you know what I'm saying?
In the long run.
It's going to benefit you. Like, how you going to tell me like that? The one thing about civilians and people who are in the military is that civilians, they're the ones who've been protected.
Yep.
You're the ones reaping the benefit from the ones who are trained all day and all night to go fight. So you have to have some type of regard or respect for the ones who are putting their life on the line a certain type of way.
Exactly.
Your job is to be protected, cute in the covers. My job is to go out here and bust somebody's head or get my head busted so you can be cute in the covers when I get back.
It's called the front lines.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So the roles are going to be different all the time. Like there's no other way to put it.
Right. Exactly.
But here's the thing though. Just because your role is not my role, I'm doing my role because I value what you bring.
Right. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So when you look at parents and children, you know what I mean? Like, you're here because I wanted you here.
Right.
For the most part. For some people. But for most people who have children, they wanted children.
Right.
Or they were doing the thing that can bring children and just like, well, he's here.
Oops.
Oops.
You know what I mean? So
My bad.
my bad. Or they wasn't thinking about the consequences of doing things to make a child. Now you love your child, but you weren't thinking about,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
not going down a tangent, I'm just saying. But what that child does has an effect on the household. You know what I'm saying? You're here because I wanted you here, so I want you to live good. I want to talk to someone. I want to raise somebody. I want to. So what you do throughout your day, it kind of like measure out what I do throughout my day.
Right.
It's nothing like when a man and woman goes to work and they come home and the little kid be like, "Daddy," bro. Your heart just bust open. You know what I mean? Like it's just over the top. So, but still the positions are different. So the ones who are civilians, they have to have a certain type of respect and regard for the ones who are the chiefs and the Indians who's going to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true because they face a lot of challenges, man. I don't think we realize. I had pulled up an article I was reading, and they had different females and males that was in the military. Some was in for 10 years, some 27 years, some 30 years. And so they had a question like, what challenges did you face during your transition? Like, how did you overcome them? And one of the biggest challenges was transitioning from being a leader and an expert in their field to being an actual civilian once again. Because think about it, they were a civilian before they went in.
Right.
So they understand both sides.
Right.
So that's kind of like a cheat code. So it's like the civilian who's never been in that expertise or that field don't understand or know that they know more than they than they realize. And it's just like a civilian coming into someone who's an expert in their field and try to tell them, well, you got to do it like this, but they never, in a dead-end life, studied, researched, trained, that wasn't even equipped to do anything remotely close to what the expert that was in the field. So I thought, man, when it comes to the military, that's one of the biggest things that they do. They lead.
Mm-hmm.
They lead the troops out. And then what they fail to realize, if something happens within the midst of leading those troops and they get hurt or they even die, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
So now they got to carry that. They got to carry your shenanigans. And then they got to deal with themselves on what's going on. And they ain't even got time to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always constant movement, always constant motion. So my question is,
The B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R828 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to starve your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
how can one, from a civilian place, understand and empathize with the civilian who was a militant at once and now has to become civilian again?
Okay, so repeat the question for me one more time.
So like, how can the civilian, who's pretty much the one that's just like, hey, telling you how you should do things, how can they empathize more with the ones who were civilians and understand and went militant but had to become a civilian again and unlearn and learn some new things? So how can they empathize with them more?
I think that, bro, to keep it 100, like just to like, okay, so I know individuals who have went, and we now primarily just talking about armed forces, you know what I'm saying? So we talking about, you know, like being a part of a certain type of crowd, a certain type of statue, and then not letting someone who's not trying to push the needle knock you down for what you're trying to do, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
since we're going to
Good way to put that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people just think we're talking about army. No,
Right.
That's
right.
metaphorically speaking.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, if the person who wasn't, bro, it's training on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the left side, the person who hasn't went to the military,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna have to be around people who have been around people who are close to those who went to the military, so they can have the mindset to be well-rounded, to understand them.
Right.
If they're not, they're gonna be off on one side.
Mhm.
The person who has been to the military and came out, they're going to be able to deal with them more because they have once been on this side and once been on this side. But here's the thing. Once your mind has been conditioned a certain type of way and you have seen things a certain type of way, you can't undo it.
Right.
There's no way. Every person who I've known who have went to the military and came back, that stuff sticks with them life.
Yeah, that's a life thing.
Like,
a life
because
change. Yep.
once you go in there, because I know people, I talk to them, don't come from my head, I ain't trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Because they be government crazy, bro. But you know what I'm saying? When they go through basic training, you go in and they strip you down mentally. Bro, it's hard to have a conversation with a person who done seen something traumatic and a person who hasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Extremely hard.
Because that's why they tell some of those people don't tell them
Some of the
secrets.
experiences.
Because if it's top secret, you know why it's top secret? Because if I tell you something that's going on over here, it's gonna freak you out because your mind is not conditioned to even handle it.
Exactly.
So I can't even talk to you about this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the person who they take them, basic training, they strip them down and they rebuild them. They talk. It's like a RoboCop.
Yeah, cause yeah.
RoboCop came back like saying he came back a different type. He was him, but he was different.
He was different.
He was like a stealth him, and that's how the military are. You know what I'm saying? So, but once you learn certain things like that, when you see certain things differently, you can't unlearn it. But what you can do is you can understand. I've been there before. But you, the person who hasn't been in contact with people who has been upgraded, quote unquote, you're not gonna be able to understand that.
Right.
So the only way the person on this side can really understand over here is if they have been in contact with people who have been over there. So now I can kind of speak your language, even though I haven't been over there. I kind of know what you've been going through because my father been here, my dad been here.
Right.
I've been my family been in this. I haven't been there, but my family have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's good. And a prime example to shift that into almost an everyday situation. Let's just look at a person that wants to start a business or have started a business, like an entrepreneur or something of that nature, right? They're gonna think you crazy because this is what happens. You trade in a 40-hour work week for a 100-hour work week for less or no money. You know what I'm saying? And then they looking at you like you crazy because, oh, that ain't gonna work, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever they wanna, figure, how you ain't gonna leave this 6-figure job? You getting good salary or whatever. Or unless they've been in that situation or experienced something that they were so passionate about something that they are willing to give up something that somebody would consider a place of comfort to move into a place of discomfort because they receive joy, peace, or reward because that's where their passion lies. You know what I'm saying? So the activities and stuff that goes along with that, they dismiss that because they're feeling like that's an even exchange for me. Yeah, I'm leaving 40 hours to work 100 hours, but I'm working 100 hours doing something that I love versus 40 hours doing something that I hate.
And that doesn't feel like work. It's work, but it doesn't feel like it because it's something you feel like, this is what I'm born to do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so to empathize with that, you have to be somebody, like you said, you have to be around somebody that's been in contact. If not, they're not going to understand it. They can't empathize with you. But as a unit, we can help make each other's lives better by doing that because instead of because when you start, regardless of how strong a person's mindset, that can break somebody down. You know what I'm saying? When you don't believe in my dream. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When at the end of the day, as long as you believe in your dream, that's really all that matters. But come on, we're human. At the end of the day, you want that support. But when that love and support is not there, it does have some type of barrier effect on you. But what we're telling you tonight is don't allow that to stop total movement from moving where you want to be, because at the end of the day, we don't want you to adapt the civilian's mindset because they don't understand what you're doing, they don't understand what you're going through, or even why you haven't left a certain situation or a certain individual, you know what I'm saying, in its rightful moment and place, you know what I'm saying, because some things you should disconnect from, but there are certain things that we don't disconnect from, and outside sources will say, man, you need to disassociate yourself from that, and good. Ryan, you were talking about in a good way. You know what I'm saying? There's, if it's such a situation that you definitely shouldn't be in. You know what I'm saying? If there's abuse, you don't need to be in that situation. Point blank. Period. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
any type of abuse.
Any type of abuse.
Physical, mental, spiritual. Any type of abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's what I'm on, man. Like this year, man. Like really, I don't know about y'all, but it's like I feel myself transitioning into something, but I don't know what that something is. I kind of felt that like towards the end of last year, coming into this year, I feel like I'm transitioning into something, but I just don't know what that something is. Yep. And so, but in the meantime, it's just having to keep moving. It's just like, when the power goes out in the house and it's dark, you still got to move to find the light switch so that you can turn the light on.
Even if you got to feel your way.
You know what I'm saying?
It,
that's where I kind of like don't feel like I'm heading. So it's like I got to stay tunnel vision because at the end of the day, I can't allow somebody that's, like you're saying, that's not in my space to tell me about my space in a negative way that's not going to benefit me. Now, if it's in a positive way and it's because maybe God shed some wisdom and some light and you said something, I could take that. But I'm not fit to allow somebody to negatively affect me because I'm already trying to figure out what this transition is. I'm in movement. I don't need that weight, and I don't need that negativity bearing me down or stopping me. So at the end of the day, I can't accept it.
Especially when they're not actually going to even move in the field or the thing that you do. Sometimes people just say stuff just to say it.
I'm telling you, they have no intentions of doing what you do
At all.
They don't even have no intentions of supporting you, but then they gonna downgrade or you know what I'm saying, or shade what you're trying to do, man. Don't do that this year.
No. Don't let nobody punk you out your purpose.
Yeah.
For real.
Right. He got punked.
It's like, you want to get punked out your purpose? No. Not happening. And I think you have to just be confident and bold in who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table.
Bro, you know what?
It's a stance.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in this. And this comes from, we talking about, off camera we talking about. I'm a firm believer that some things just won't happen or take place. Like some things won't manifest until real deliverance takes place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And some people are not willing to take that extra step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of quote unquote civilians, and I mean they say it that way, but you know what I'm saying? People who not trying to.
Right. People who not trying to rock with you in that
Like
space.
the people on the other. Okay, so you said that one part of the definition, I think the end part of it was being connected to an organization, right? You know what I'm saying? Being connected to something, an organization, everybody is kind of doing or moving in the same place. Everybody is kind of like they different people, not perfect, different areas, but everything is like kind of yoked together. You know what I mean? So they're willing to take the same type of risks. They're willing to kind of do the same type of things or get maybe the same type of information, education, but different places at different times. You know what I mean? So they're basically not on this side of the spectrum. They're not going to do anything that they haven't already done themselves. You know what I mean? So that right there made me think about. It made me think about Jesus, bro, straight up the whole time y'all was talking. You know, so the whole time I was talking, like, why won't you be connected to me? I'm not gonna ask of you anything I have not already done for you. I'm asking you to die to yourself daily. I have died brutally for you on the cross. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all these things that I have already. Be connected to something. The stuff that we want to take us to the next level, they're not gonna ask us to do anything that they haven't already done before, previously.
Right.
Civilians are not gonna want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like what you said about when you started the conversation about deliverance. Yeah, we got to be delivered from other people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point to where it cripples us. And once again, going into that space, man, you gotta know your space. And like Dub said, and Lord Revolve said, it's like, man, I plan in 2024, I plan on walking into a new place of confidence, man. Just like in every area of my life. And when I feel myself trying to go back to the old Mike, I know what to do to trigger that. You know what I'm saying? I know, because when you can understand yourself, bro. And I gotta share that. It's great. I meant to share this when we was talking off camera, but I think this would be good. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the episode of Zatima. It's Zatima. It's a spinoff from Sisters that Tyler Perry created.
No.
It's actually pretty good. I like it. Both of them. So, but Zatima, you can only watch it on BET, BET Plus, I think it is. And but now it's actually on BET. Now it's just not on BET, but it's, of course, you getting the old stuff when it shows up. So, but anyhow, so basically it's a couple, Zach and Fatima. So that's how they got the name Zatima. Okay, came up with the thing.
Yeah.
So, And I binged watched 20 episodes. Kid you not, it just caught me, just grabbed my
It was
attention.
locked in.
Yeah, because they only, because you got to realize that it's less than 30 minutes each segment, because it's just a straight show, no commercials.
Right.
So like 29, 27 minutes. So in the course of a week, I've watched 20 episodes, easy. So, but Zach is losing it because his past keeps catching up with him. And so now he's about to blow the relationship between him and Fatima. And so he was raised. I love the storyline, bro. That's what dug me to watch that like that. As I'm watching the transitions of each segment. So he had a horrible upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Mama didn't want him. Strung out, brother strung out, you know, felt abandoned, foster care, bad situations there, fear of abandonment. So he got all these issues that was never dealt with. So now Fatima comes along, and best thing since sliced bread, the best thing that ever happened to him, and now he about to mess that up because he's never dealt with his past issues.
Right.
So, but then at the same time, not even realizing what triggers those issues. So, fast forward later to the segment, Mama started coming back around because, long story short, Zach came into some money. So now he well off. So now Mom and brother starting to come back around now. So now that triggers his emotions. So now that triggered his emotions. So now because that triggered his emotions, now he starts acting towards Fatima a certain way. Which puts that wedge into the damper in their relationship. So rewind back to now that I know my triggers, because I had got into a space to where it was just certain feelings and emotions that I would have, and I would disassociate or detach myself from certain things that I should attach myself to, because it's going to help me bring me out of that space. But because I was just being stubborn and didn't want to do that, then I suffered the consequence of that action of me not walking in peace in that moment. So now that I understand coming into 2024 that now that I'm walking into the mindset that I'm not going to do that, even though my emotion, my will, and my intellect may try to drive me in that direction, but because I know that's a trigger, now I recognize that, and the thing that I refuse to do, I'm going to push myself to do because I know that's what I should do. And so what happened in that segment was, even though he didn't want to go through, because most men, especially black men, we don't do counseling. So through a series of situations, he finally ends up going through counseling, and he picks up on all the triggers, and he starts pointing out all this stuff in everybody's life, and now the issues that he never dealt with, he starts start dealing with them. And now it brings out a vulnerable character that was never there in the first place. Why am I saying all that to say this? I'm saying all that to say this is, as we go forth into the new, we always talking about new year, new me. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Like really vibe with yourself and the things that you refused or was afraid to do that will probably put you into some clarity or a place of peace because you're owning that space. As long as you never own that space, you can never have freedom in that room. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Big time.
And I know that was a long drawn out scenario, but that's just what, and it actually was perfect for that example because I'm just exposing myself. Just like there was some things that I had withdrew from that I should have been doing, but because I was frustrated and I was in my emotions, I didn't. So now that I know that that's a trigger, now it's like, you know what, this is what I'm just going to do this right here. And one of those things is me. I listen to music and I listen to podcasts pretty much all day, whether I'm checking emails or riding the car, going from place to whatever I'm doing. I'm either listening to a podcast or I'm listening to music. There's a difference between hearing music and listening to music. So even though I'm thinking I'm listening to music, I'm just hearing music. And so then that puts me into another place of worship. But because I was, went through that deliverance when we had that service that night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I just gave it up and gave it to God,
Yeah.
I feel a freedom that I haven't felt in a long time. So now that put me back into that mode of my worship to where I'm not just hearing the music, I'm listening to the music. And now that I'm listening to the music,
It has your undivided attention.
it has my undivided attention, and it shifts my worship into another dimension. So that's my trigger. I don't know what your trigger is, but whatever that is for you, we begin as like the scripture talks about removing, ask God to remove the scales from your eyes so that your mind can be enlightened to be able to walk into the mindset that is going to be required to obtain everything that you want to obtain in 2024. Because you cannot go into a military base with a civilian's mindset and expect to receive the benefit of a militant and you a civilian.
So basically, in order, just in hindsight, so basically, in order to shift your life to a different atmosphere, it's going to be a battle. You're going to have to become militant.
Yeah.
That's it. If you want a different relationship, even if your relationship with your fiance, your girlfriend, your wife is good, and if you want to be great, you're gonna have to look for the things that's good, to crack them, to fight against whatever that's keeping you good to go to great. If you want a better relationship with your children, you're gonna have to fight for a better. You got to be militant. That comes with training. That comes with discipline. And being a civilian and being a person who's militant are two different things.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
They wake up and go to sleep different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clothes when you walk nowadays when you go outside, you don't know if that's a boy or that's a girl.
Right.
But when you walk in Publix and you see somebody with that blue armor fatigue on, that's Air Force. Oh, that's Marines. Oh, that's Army.
Well, that's Navy.
That's Navy.
Right.
Because of what they got on, just kind of standing up, you can automatically tell what they are. Now what comes out of their mouth? That's a whole different story.
This is true.
Who knows what's to come out of their mouth?
Right.
But just from you looking at them, you can kind of tell. That's how it need to be. You tell them.
You can identify.
Right, you identify. So like, in order for anything to go from level 1 to level 2 or level 20 to level 21, it gotta be militant, bro. I'm telling you, man, the other night I came in here, bro. I was on the floor. I told y'all how it was. Deep came from the right.
Down goes Alex.
Mike had me on the side, on the back of it.
It's like punch out.
Right. Pastor Jarvis had me in the front. Next thing I know, I was getting him out the flow. All right, just straight up. But, you know what I'm saying? But what happens is, I was digging up, and this is about what you're talking about. It's so important for us to start doing self-work and to find those triggers, to find those things, because you can't overlook them.
Right.
Because they're going to pop up.
They're going to keep popping up. Yep.
They're going to pop up.
You can't overlook them. You might as well start to deal with, especially if you want something great in the future. You know, you pull it up as much as you can. You pull up as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? When people who have big land, big acres of land, and they do crops, they might start off, no. Let's go a little bit smaller. Smaller in the backyard. They might have a hoe. They might be chopping the grass. They gonna chop as much as they can. After then, if the roots real deep, where they going? They finna with the loads to rent them. To rent the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta hold that stuff up. You gotta pull that stuff up as much as you can, bro.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go to the person who can remove that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The person who can remove the stuff, this is a secret. You ready? The person who can remove the stuff is not the one who put it there. God doesn't give us fear.
Nope.
God is, you know what I'm saying? So the person who put the stuff there is not the one who's gonna remove it. once you dig that stuff up, you have to go to the place and to the person who can get you right. You gotta lay yourself before God. God, I did this what I got. This where I'm at. This where my head at. This where my emotions at. I've been talking to you about this. I've been dealing with this. You gotta take this. You gotta mean it. And let them cleanse that stuff out.
Yeah.
That's true, because it's like all those things is really a location. It can't even exist unless you allow it to exist. So don't allow it to pin on your location, which is you, yourself, fear. It has to reside somewhere. It only can be alive if you give it life, if you breathe it, if you allow it to be in your world and your circumstances. Don't give it that much power, because people will use you. People cruel. People can care less, even if it makes them feel good. And a lot of times that's even a fake lie in itself, because they try to tell themselves just to keep away from themselves.
Yeah. Listen, man, people really don't. This is just my opinion. I just feel like people really don't understand the power of the mind. The mindset that you got to have just to operate in certain spaces. The mindset that you got to have just to wake up sane every morning. The mindset that you got to have just to keep the naysayers and the devil out of your pathway. The mindset that you got to have. I don't think people really understand. Because when even when I'm around with the kids, I'm listening to when I have private conversations with kids and the stuff that they're going through, the things that they're dealing with at school, the things that they're dealing with at home, and then just the mind battles that they go through because they may have not been conditioned to take that type of ridicule because they want to be a part of something so bad. But the thing that I want to be a part of is the very thing that's rejecting me or that's coming against me or that's saying stuff about me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just to get to the next stage, like the mindset that you got to have. So it's like,
it's a mental train.
It's a mental thing. So one of the things, and I said this year, and like, it's making sure the resources, like you was talking about, Dub, is giving the resources. Like I had a young man I was talking to the other night after we came back from the game, and he shared some stuff while he was waiting on his ride, and some things that he was dealing with. So, and man has a relationship. Young man has a relationship with God because he just began to tell me how he deal with some of the stuff that he deal with. He reads scriptures. He said I can read the Bible and it calms me and it gives me peace. And so he was on my mind when I woke up yesterday morning, and during my time of devotion of yesterday morning, there was a scripture that stuck out to me, and I felt to send it to him. And he was very appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna send him some more stuff. And that's what I've done with some of the football players. Like I've done the same thing, and then I would balance it out because I know where they are. They're athletes. You know what I'm saying? So I would send them some motivational clips from YouTube that I think that they can benefit from. So that, that's what I'm starting to do. I'm gonna do that with this bunch right here. Let's just do a different bunch. So I'm gonna actually send them a few clips or some stuff, and definitely probably send them some stuff from the podcast too. I think that'll kind of help them out a little bit. But I just think like the mindset, bro. It's like I don't think people really understand the mindset that it takes to really operate. And it's easy to develop, but I think we're so quick to look at somebody and say, man, dang, you got a strong mind, versus, dang, man, how did you get to that point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And versus like, don't be worried about so much of what I got. Ask me, how did I get it?
Right.
Just like in the pursuit of happiness. You ask the right question, you get the right answer.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is like very important. I know it's mundane, but I mean it's very important going into 2024, because it's like when I'm listening to them, it's like how I got here. Let me tell you how I got here. This is what I listened to. This is what I did. This is what I meditated on.
That's what I researched.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't wake up every morning just getting up, going to school, putting your earbuds in your ear, listening to what you're listening to, and think you're going to get what I got. It's not going to happen. You can't get up and go to work every morning listening to the same thing, doing the same thing, and you're not going to get what it is that you're looking out for because it requires something different. It's not going to happen. That's mindset. That's all mindset.
And renewing your mind is basically retraining your mind each and every single day.
I got to look. I don't need you to tell me what to think. Tell me how to think. Because if you're telling me what to think, you're telling me your ideas, your thoughts, your ideologies. I don't want that. I want mine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's don't tell me what to think. Tell me how to think. How do you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like where I'm at. It's like when I'm looking at the world, I'm like, even in my frustrations, it's like watching certain stuff, how people making moves doing something. It's like even when I'm watching, I'm like, oh man, he finna do this right here. He finna do this right here. And certain moves I'm gonna have to make because no matter how it makes me feel, if it's beneficial to my audience, then I'm just gonna have to step back, put that in play, and let it run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, I can't do the civilian mindset. You know, I can't allow you to just downplay what I'm doing because you don't understand my lane. I'm not fit because, you know, well, you charge too much. Well, you know, maybe I'm not for you. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, this is crazy, dog. I'm listening to kids. Just the other night, I'm listening to kids talking about, oh man, I'm finna go get this new Louis shirt or these new Louis shoes. Why? Why? I mean, that's your preference. I mean, I get it. But you won't take that money and invest it into the program that you're playing for. Mindset is a powerful thing, bro. I'm gonna go pay $700 for a pair of shoes, but I'm doing fundraisers for my basketball team. Make that make sense.
You invest differently with the mindset.
That you won't pay $20 for a shirt for. Mindset, bro. Like that's why, like man, I feel like, you know, like you're saying, bro, it's finding out where you at with God and being. I feel like God is weeding some stuff out of my life. That's just the way I feel about my life. I believe God is just weeding some stuff out of my life. Maybe some stuff I held on to that I should have let go unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? And he just stripping it away for this new transition that's about to happen. That's just, you know what I'm saying,
bro. And the thing about it is, dog. The great thing about God is He specifically made everyone for a purpose, on purpose. Like your pinky is not your thumb on purpose.
Right.
Like your hand wouldn't work how it works if you had a pinky here and a pinky here. It wouldn't work the same, right? So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to be the one who's militant. You can be really useful if you understand how his mind works and what he's supposed to do. Check this out. I'm reading the book of Judges, right? Israel be tripping, they was tripping. So at that point in time, they didn't have any kings. So God would raise, he will call up judges, and then they would judge over one judge will 20 years, one judge will reign 12 years, or whatever the case may be. It was one named Deborah, female judge named Deborah. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't a militant judge, but she was over the military. She was connected to the one who knew what they were supposed to do. You dig what I'm saying? So sometimes you ain't got to be the one on the field, but do you know what they're supposed to do?
Right.
How can you benefit the ones who's on the field?
Bro, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you be in the same lane with the people who are they connected to? Like, how can you help them out? So you ain't gotta know how to do what I do, but can you understand me? How can you help me do what I do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how
Big
can you help me do? I don't know why I keep going back to this, but it's the same thing with children, bro, in the household, bro. You know what I'm saying? We out here working all day, dealing with these people all day. Some parents going to school and coming to work.
Right. Right.
So at least you can do is make sure the living room clean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
wash
can
dishes.
wash dishes, so I can come
Trash
home
out.
to the place
Right.
I'm slaving for all day. I can come home to it's being clean and not filthy.
Right.
Because when I come home and it's clean, that resets. Therefore, that helps me separate the world from my home. You're helping me. You're helping my reality. Like, you're helping me refresh and understand why I'm doing this.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Because and it's also a mirror of where you're at mentally too, how your home is set up, how it's clean. Like, bro, when I come home, man, just to come home to a clean house, it's just like, bro, it just feels so good. It's a peace that comes over you. It's just like
It helps you function.
it helps you function.
Yeah.
You think clearly.
Yeah.
But when you got everything over here, cluttered over here, you just going back and forth. You just be like, man, I don't feel like doing this, man. Like, it creates a certain mindset or creates a certain stir in you, whether it's good or bad. But when you come home to a clean home, bro, it hit different.
But that's why that night, when I laid on the altar, I cleaned the house, bro.
Yeah. You and me, bro.
I cleaned the house because
Yeah.
there's no way my family can function in a dirty house. If I'm the head of the family, right?
Right.
There's no way
Right.
the family can function if the house is dirty. If it's clutter everywhere, you can't walk in the living room. You can't lay on the bed. Like, you can't live with a hoarder.
Yes.
Stuff is everywhere. You can't function in here. You got a 3,000 square foot house, but there's stuff everywhere. You got enough space to take care of everything, but it's crowded with clutter. It's crowded with junk. But you have the space and the capability to get it done. But it's just crowded. You got to clean the house.
Facts.
And when you decide to clean the house, that separates you from being civilian and militant. Nothing wrong with being civilian, because everybody got steps.
Right.
But
But it's just understanding the role.
yeah, but it's when you want to take it up a notch, you have to become militant. When you want to get habits out of your life, you got to become militant. You know what I'm saying? When you want to get delivered from lust or whatever the case may be, you got to become militant. When a person is battling alcohol addiction, they have to become militant. When a man is battling pornography addiction, he has to become everything. He's fighting every little thing because everything is on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big
That's
facts.
good. That's good.
At the end of the day, you're your greatest asset. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, man.
That's it.
That's what's up. That's good, man. It's funny, like, and I didn't go there, but early in the conversation, I was actually thinking of the word militant, but I just didn't say it. So I'm glad you went that way.
Yeah, because that's the only way.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to become militant about what you after. Yeah. Yeah. You got to be militant about your peace, man. You got to be militant about how you function, how you move, how you deal with, who you deal with.
Yeah.
And because, man, bro, like I said, I'm so tired of looking at RIPs, and they're young people, bro. Like, so many people that I knew, of people that knew, that was close to them, brother, sister, niece, nephews, young people, bro. So it's like, trying to get it. And then what I mean get it, I ain't talking about just chasing the bag. I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about peace. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, if you got the bag and you ain't got no peace, man, what are we doing? Man, nah, I want it all. So I just feel like a snake shedding its skin, man. It's like it's new skin coming, new season's coming. So it don't just come just cause of a new year, but it comes with the new mindset. It comes with new responsibilities. It comes with new dreams, new visions, new goals, new relationships. You know, but all that stuff will be determined by how you clean your house. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize, I ain't coming back to your house if I come to your house and it's dirty. I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, let's clean your house, man, and don't allow people that's talking about your space negatively to invade your space. Own that, man. 2024, own that. Own your space. Own your, take ownership in where you're going. Take ownership in what you're trying to accomplish, man. Don't allow people to take you out of your comfort zone, out of your space to the point to where, because they don't understand how you move, why you set your prices the way they don't know what you got to deal with. They don't know how many hours you put in making that product. They don't know how many sleepless nights you done had, worrying about your children, your kids, because, you know what I'm saying, you're praying for them and they don't know. and then they're telling you to leave them alone. No, they don't know. They don't know God got you in a certain place.
And sometimes it's not even business, bro. A lot of the times, it's personal stuff. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
if
Yeah.
I was once rocking with you and I don't rock with you no more, I done moved on, I done moved past you. You know what I'm saying? Because of whatever reason the case may be.
It's
It could
okay.
be baby daddy, baby mama, it could be business partner, whatever the case may be, and you see them moving forward, and you come to me and you don't like it, bro. You gotta stand on business. That's it.
Hey, ain't that the terminology for this season?
Stand on business.
Stand on
partner.
business.
Stand on business. Like, you gotta stand up. You don't like what hey,
Yep.
hey, like this what I'm doing now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be, man, it's crazy,
Yep.
bro.
Yeah.
You gotta stand on business.
Stand
When
on
people-
business.
When people, especially people you're once connected to,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a reason why the separation happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go connect to something else and you don't like it, I gotta stand on business because I know once you know it better, you're supposed to do better.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So
And most folks don't want you to do better.
facts.
So you gotta stand on business.
Facts.
That's it.
Gotta let them know.
When it's time to improve, you gotta be militant.
Yep.
Now it means you gotta be nasty. You just gotta be militant. You know what I mean?
And that's
Big
the
facts.
word of the day.
Militant.
Be militant. Hey man, it's been good getting back, man. We had enough in the chamber to take a little time off during the holidays. So once again, it's the first podcast of 2024
Four.
in the books. Man, hope y'all got something once again, man. We appreciate the support, man. Keep sharing and liking and subscribing and hitting that bell, man, that notification bell, so you get the notification whenever we drop new episodes. So, man, once again, as we get ready to get up out of here, man, make sure that you're operating in the mindset at the highest point that it takes to operate in the space that you are in and own it. So, hey, man, this has been the Blueprint to Success podcast. Y'all know how we end up, man. Shoot for the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And if you think different and be different, you'll have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side of success. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.